What's up, everyone? In this video, I want to talk about how to identify and trade a gap fill. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel, click that thumbs up button, and click that bell icon so you do not miss on any of my upcoming videos. For this example, we're going to look at Coinbase, ticker COIN. This was a trade I took today, okay? There's two different ways to trade a gap fill, and there's one way I like to identify that, and it's on the daily time frame chart, okay? That's where I identify it. So this is the opening 5-minute candle here, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We came down. I took this trade. Anytime you take the breakout, okay, this gap was to the downside. You can trade these to the upside as well, but this example, we're trading it to the downside. You take the initial breakout, that's higher risk. When I take this, I'm always lighter size. Okay, so I got in, pushed down a little bit. I was in the green for a minute. Honestly, I would have had a much better entry if the spreads had tightened up quicker, but come down and went right back up, stopped me out of this trade. I told everyone, I said, okay. I said, this happens with gap fill trades. Sometimes you have to stop out and try the second entry. Wait on the retest would be a better entry. So we came up, came back down, broke back below this gap fill level, came back up, retest. This is where I took my second entry. I was super focused on this. Some Team Bull members got in here as well, and I caught this nice move down here. I went with a 75 put just because that's where the liquidity was. The other ones had horrible spreads. So if I had something a little closer to the money, I would have made more off this, but it still paid. I ended up making right at $300 after the first small loss. Then this moved down. Now you're probably wondering, like, how do I manage this trade? Where do I know to sell? When I take a gap fill trade like this, ideally you want to catch it off this retest, right? When we come back up, retest, ideally open below this level. I like to take my first trim when we have some momentum down, right? So we had some nice momentum here. I trimmed, and my next trim was way down when we started losing that momentum, right? I seen, some momentum loss. I said, okay, I'm locking in profits here. And I ended up getting out on that. I didn't really trim a third time. 2 sales was all I had on this particular trade. It never hurts though to leave runners in case you do feel this gap, as you can see we're doing now. I'm not for sure what the puts will be at now, but I'm sure they're up from my entry, even though it is later in the day. I was trading same week expiration. I never trade anything further out unless I plan on holding it overnight. This was a day trade for me. Any day trade I get in is not something I'm going to hold overnight. I've not done the proper technical analysis. I haven't seen that confirmation I need for a swing trade or leaps. I hope that kind of breaks it down what I'm looking for. You don't want to hold on. I want to touch on this a little more, the risk management part of this. Remember, the initial breakout is higher risk. I go lighter size when I'm taking a breakout, breakdown, whatever you want to call it, than I would as if I was taking a retest. I was twice as heavy on this trade here as I was this one. Another thing, if it reclaims that level, whether you wait on a 5-minute candle to close, 1 minute, 2 minute, whatever your plan is, follow it, right? A lot of times when it does reclaim, you will catch a big move back up before it continues on down like you see here. And sometimes it doesn't come back down the same day. Sometimes I've seen it wait a day or two, maybe even a week before we enter back into that gap. So never hold for hope. That's one thing I like to point out. I've seen people blow their accounts, they keep averaging down, whatever. Do not hold a gap fill trade for hope. If you reclaim that level, just simply get out. If you have a good 5-minute candle close, that's what I would recommend. That's how I handle it personally. But you follow your trading plan, of course. And that's all I have for this video. I appreciate you all for watching. Oh, before you all ask, yes, I did take another trade. Took the 4,300 area reject, the one I gave you in my pre-market live. Told you all I was focusing on SPX levels this week, and that's what I took. Took puts. Beautiful move down. Feels nice to come back with a green day after 2 red days in a row last week. But that's all I have for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Appreciate you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.